Yarnchix podcast. This is me with a little special episode. I'm Liebwed on Instagram, and there is also a Yarnchix podcast account, and I run the Patreon page for my Yarnchix podcast in order to fund the art and the creativity that goes into filming these little films and making a zine. I have a brand new knitting zine out there in the world, which actually the hard copies sold out through my Etsy shop, I think within 10 days. So I'm very excited to announce something considering that. Oh, this is my little dog, Marie, who sometimes features in my videos. And yeah, this is a Yarnchix news video, a kind of 20-minute little glimpse of what's happening, and I welcome you here. Of all the kind of items I'm gonna discuss. I have a lot of Magic 3 Mile in there because basically I decided to film this Yarnchix news clip in order to announce that I'm extending the Magic 3 Make Along. 2020 being 2020, I just didn't like the idea of only having one more month left in our Magic 3 Make Along. So now I've extended it until the 1st of December, which means it gives us 3 more months of crafting. So the whole of September, the whole of October, and then all of November. I know it will kind of cross into kind of holiday making for those who celebrate Christmas, but I think in a way that's a good thing, because the Magic 3 Make Along is dedicated to making items for children. We make a top, bottoms, and a toy, and I have very much struggled this year myself with the toy makes, mainly because some of the toys I chose are rather complex, beautifully written knitting patterns. I want to make the Bunny Odile and the Winston Leon, as well as Mary Moly by Sweet from Cynthia, who is, well, that's her name on Instagram. She is Cynthia Valley. And I've realized whenever I sit down to do it, my focus dwindles, and I don't sit with it. I kind of do a row here and a row there, but I haven't committed, and I'm very sad because she ran a knit along for Mary and Didi Moly until I think tomorrow, the last day of August. So I've missed out on that entirely, and I feel sad and bad, but I just wasn't able to join in this time. I will definitely join in next time, and I will knit her patterns in the Magic 3 Make Along. Do you need a walkie? Why are you here? these were all the plans I made, and I would have kind of shown a couple of the results that I've actually completed in my little visual bridge, and I have them all here. So I've marked them on my little drawing, and here you would see that I want to do the lion, the bunny, and the little mole. So these are my drawings of the From Cynthia knitting patterns. I have also completed this hat, which I haven't actually put a sticker on yet, which was a long-term whip, and yeah, I've still got a little bit of stuff to do. This is actually a sweater that I knitted already during last year's effort, and I need to frog it and restart it. So I'm not sure if that recorded. So the price I'm knitting is another one of these beautiful, beautiful capes. It's an Isaura cape, and I'm using a sheepy background color, and I'm combining all these different colors I would have shared in a previous podcast as well, because I think one of you will deserve a cape for either mending, upcycling, finishing a whip, kind of all the things where you work with sustainability in mind, where you've fixed up a thing, or you've, I don't know, ripped back a project that had been, resting, and your child is suddenly bigger than it was when you started that project, and you've got to restart, to encourage you to do those things and to mend and to be stash busting and reflective of your materials. I thought I'd make an extra price, so that will be the separate category, and someone will win Isaura cape knitted by me. It's a design by Rosa Puma, and it's published in my third zine, so zine issue number 3, which was taking flight. And I'm super happy to knit this. You can find the pattern as a single pattern as well through Rosa Puma's website, I guess. And I'm looking forward to knitting this. That was all the things that I wanted to show you for the Magic 3 Mile. And as I'm here, I might as well update you on my own kind of Mamanets, my knitting project.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small.
So, with the plover cardigan, I have come quite far actually. It's now the sort of shoulder shape, And I've got it on this extra pair long of needles, so I can actually show you. Sleeves, here, cardigan design, a raglan cardigan design in Halbpatent, we say in German. I don't know, it's a kind of brioche, simple brioche. I love it. The design is by Jacqueline Cizak and it is in the Simple Making Zine. It is really, really sheepy good. I'm knitting it with Murka yarns and I've just wound the second skein. So this is basically one skein of yarn. I'm so into this project, so I'm knitting on it quite a lot, maybe also because it helps me to have all these kind of raglan shaping instructions, and then I kind of feel encouraged to get all of that done to the point where I can just knit, you know, divide for sleeves and body and just knit downwards. I think that's what's kind of drawn me to this project and keeping me going. I knitted quite a substantial bit during our knit night at Liebes Wedding Strick. There were 5 of us and it was really nice and special to meet up again in person. We managed to, you know, sit across a table with plenty of space and plenty of light, because the cafe where we meet has recently changed their lighting situation, which is amazing. And yeah, and I think I knitted about that much. Surprisingly, there's no mistakes in it. I double checked the next day, so I'm like, oh my god, I even managed to get all those raglan shapings. I love it. It's in a really grey, let's say greyish, sheepy Murka yarn, which was a stash share by my friend Yvonne. And I love the design by Jacqueline Cizak, so I can't wait to wear this. It's designed with quite a lot of positive ease. So I calculated I will have between 20 and 30 centimeters of room, as I've mostly knit cardigans that look like, you may be able to tell, I tend to knit things a bit too small, but I love this cardigan anyway, so I wear it quite a lot and I wear it often and it looks nice over dresses. But it's about time I have a well-fitting cardigan in a very basic kind of color, we say Unfarbe in Deutsch, in German, that will go with almost everything I own. So I'm very excited to make this very neat little cardigan, as well as this dream blue sweater that I'm knitting on, the soiree sweater, which is a design from Emily Foden's book Knits About Winter. And I'm very happy that in her new second edition of the print, she actually writes about where she lives in Canada, being a land that was taken from First Nations and obviously colonized. So she has taken on board, I think, feedback that she was given, that it's beautifully written and beautifully photographed, but it never references the stealing of land that has happened across the north of America and the world, and you know, and I'm quite happy to see that. I wish I could read it. Maybe somehow I will buy her new book and work out a way of reading her updated chapters. Anyway, currently I'm knitting the soiree sweater, which you will see here. I love the detail of the cables that run along the side and then up the front and around and down the back, or basically at the front and on the back. And I have just split for front and back. So now I'm knitting, where am I? Here on this side. I'm knitting backwards and forwards for either the front or back, I'm not sure. I think I'm knitting on the back right now. And then I will have to do the same thing for the front. And then it will be joined and the sleeves will be knitted. I'm knitting on 5mm needles, so this is pretty fast. It's really nice. And I'm using, I wanted to show you a skein. beautifully blue Sheila's Deer indigo dyed yarn. It's a Scottish yarn company, and their yarn is also sourced in Scotland and it's really squishy and woolly, and I'm combining with a silk mohair, so I'm kind of joyfully marling the two, but you can probably tell it's almost the same color. So these are my current projects: a sweater and a cardigan for myself. I'm very excited to maybe start a pair of socks for myself too, but let's see. I definitely want to start a cowl because it's time to have a little Yarnchix zine knit along. The contrast cowl is a pattern that by Josh Moll at Breiwerken. She really kindly contributed it to Yarnchix zine issue number 7, and you can get her pattern through Ravelry as well, but I thought, why not host a knit along that is something that comes from one of my printed zines? And Josh has really kindly said yes, so that is the last bit and very important part of my Yarnchix news announcement today, that there will be a cowl knit along. So this is the contrast cowl, which I knitted after Josh's lovely pattern. It is a mosaic knit and you use 2 colors. So you can just go into your stash and choose 2 colors. In my case, this was a Holst yarn and Romanian mohair, which is just mohair, 100% mohair. And I love it. I love wearing it, I love knitting it. It's knitted flat. So for this one I was actually using old school, like long, we call them Jacken Stricknadeln, you know, just flat long needles, which was fun for a difference. And I will knit this, I think, in pink and blue, like a crazy color combination. Let's see, and I would love for you to join me. I thought, as I'm extending Magic 3 Mile until 1st of December and people were maybe waiting for more adult oriented knitting coming from my page again, I'll start the cowl knit along on the 1st of October anyway. So it's going to be like an autumny knit along. So once it gets breezy and windy, you've got your little cowl which you can sneak up. I often wear this even with a shawl, so I can sneak it up and the shawl will hold it in place to cover my ears if I haven't got a hat nearby. And yeah, I would love for my friends to join me in this knit along, and I hope that maybe Josh has got time to knit along, or anyway be involved. And I'm happy to answer questions about mosaic pattern knitting and my Yarnchix zine and the Magic 3 Mile, all sorts. There is plenty of video material and actually blog stuff coming to the Patreon page, but the knit along stuff is always going to be free content. So there will be blog and vlog material for the paid for kind of tiers on the Patreon page, and there'll be free knit along chatter. If you want to join in with your Magic 3 Mile sets, please send me a message, comment below here, or DM me on Instagram. I'm gonna email you 3 questions. It's really simple, 3 questions, and I need you to send me the photo, and then I can make a post from it. And as I think already 3 or 4 people have said, yeah, I'll happily share about my makes, I've already started preparing these posts, and I'm already in communication with some of you, but I thought I'll put it out there. I'll put it out here. One especially new idea I've had is to start tutorial videos about mending. So I'm excited for that to start for my vlog content. I hope you enjoyed this short glimpse of what's to come, my Yarnchix news video with a little bit of podcasting inside, and I cannot wait to film more for you, and my Zenist extra podcast all about toys. I didn't show any of my projects here now because I'm saving that for the filming this afternoon, considering all the toy making, which is a whole separate podcast that comes to some places in the Patreon. So it's like a paid for podcast. Thank you so much for your time and joining me here today. I hope you found something interesting and that you're as excited as me that Magic 3 Mile will last another 3 months. So happy. Have a very happy Sunday and look after yourself. Sending much love from Berlin. Bye bye.